Hey there, and good morning. It's Kathy Howes with Be Creative with Kathy. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I sell Stampin' Up! Products. So if you're a rubber stamper and you want to learn how to do some cards, this is the right place. Today, in my description, it says that it's the Monochromatic card swap, so I'm in a swap this evening. If you watch my videos, you know that once a month I go to this meeting called, oh, here comes the cat. Go, Paul. Sorry. Kinder Dinkers. Anyway, so my meeting is tonight. We're supposed to do a monochromatic card, and I hope you're getting a better card than what I see here, but this is Blackberry Bliss. So monochromatic just means it's all the same color with different shades of that color. We did have some discussion this weekend because I did add some Crumb Cake there as to whether this is a true monochromatic, but I think Crumb Cake's a neutral color. I'm saying it is, and plus it's a really pretty card. And when I heard that we were supposed to do monochromatic cards at this card swap, I went on Pinterest, looked through a bunch of cards, and this is one that I really like. Now I'm gonna case this one, or I did case this one from Stamp It Up with Jamie. That's what her blog name is, and I love the card. So Jamie, if you happen to see this, thank you. I couldn't find a video that Jamie did, so I think it's okay for me to do a video and give her credit. But anyway, we're gonna make this card here today together. First though, I want to do a little bit of advertising. I'm having in-person classes, and this month we're going to use a couple paper pumpkin kits for the class. So we're going to use February Smile and Sunshines. Really, we're going to use the stamp set and a few of the little pieces and parts of the kit, and we're going to use the 10 Years of Growth, which is March's paper pumpkin. That's what the finished cards in the kit look like. Now my cards will be a little different. This is what the stamp sets look like. I'll show you my cards, and I have cased these from other demonstrators, so I apologize. I can't remember, Chelsea maybe, I don't remember who I cased them from. I know Rachel Tessman, because you always got to case Rachel Tessman's cards. Anyway, this is what they look like. So from the 10 years, we're going to make this card, which is a really simple card, a little bit of shading, there we go, in the background, and using those pieces. I thought this was a really pretty card. And then we'll make this card here that opens like this. This is the fad right now. Look how cute that card is, and yet it folds up like that. And then from the other kit, we'll do a fancy fold that looks like this. Look how cute that is. Whoops, looks like that. And then we'll do a shaker card. So if you live in Denver, Colorado, or close to the Denver, Colorado area, and you want to come to my class, be sure and reach out and let me know so I can make you a packet and save you a spot. All you need to bring is your adhesive and your basic stamping tools, and I would supply, of course, all the consumables. Okay, so let's go on to today's card. So I went to retreat this weekend, and I got all my swaps made, except for I need to make one more, and that's where this video comes in. So I have them all here ready to go. Like I said, I just need one more, and that's what we'll make together. At the retreat, we sat around and crafted for like 3 days. Best 3 days I've had in a long time. So I'm pretty fired up about crafting after you craft for 3 days like that. But we're going to start, and I'm going to use the Stamparatus. And like I said, it's going to be Blackberry Bliss ink. And we're going to use this Forever Fern stamp set. Now, I know the Forever Fern has been around for a long time, but I never used it. This is probably the first time I've ever used the Forever Fern, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so we're going to turn my Stamparatus this way. I think there's magnets back here. Yes, there are. And I'm going to just put the magnet here to hold my paper down. And that, when I say my paper, this is just my grid paper. So I just have my Stamparatus base, some grid paper or scratch paper, and then my magnet holding that. And then I'm going to use this Tombow adhesive dots. It's removable adhesive, and I'm going to just put a strip right here. That's going to hold my paper, and I don't have to use a magnet on my paper. It's just going to make it a little easier. And you know what? I changed my mind. I want to go this route. I'm going to turn it this way because I want to do the step stamping is what they call it. And I'm going to put my little plate here on the second prong like this, just to get it lined up for the first time. For the measurements for my paper, I would go to BeCreativeWithKathy.com because, of course, what I say is not going to be accurate at all. and all the measurements and the supply list will be on there. Just give me a few minutes after I post my video, because I do my video here Facebook Live, and then I go to YouTube and post that video there. Look how that that adhesive just rubs off, and now it won't be stuck. Anyway, there we go. I won't have sticky on there. What was I saying? Oh, after I post it on YouTube, then I go and post on my blog with both the video and the supply list and the measurements. Okay, back to business. So then we're going to take this leaf here, this one, and I'm going to set it up in the middle of my paper. Now remember, I said I'm just going to do this. This is just to set it up, and I'm not going to, I could count over squares. I don't care. I just want it to be close. Well, I do care, but I think it looks good just like that. So then I'm going to close. Now remember, I've skipped one step here or one hinge here, and I'm going to pick it up like this. Then when I move it over, it's going to be over one. And then when we ink it up, open it like this with that Blackberry Bliss ink. And I'm going to ink it once and stamp it 3 times, and that's what's going to give me those lighter shades of Blackberry Bliss and make it monochromatic. Hope that made sense. So we're going to start here with the black or the dark, and I'm even going to use my pusher here. Now I have these, I'll link to these if you want one of these. It just makes it a little bit easier to use your Stamparatus. This was a gift from Terry, so thank you, Terry. But there's a link on Amazon. You can get one there, and I'll put it in the description. So then you notice I moved it over a hinge. I did not re-ink my stamp. That's going to make it a little bit lighter there. And then I'm going to go one more time over, do it again. And look how pretty. Now I have those 3 different colors of that same Blackberry Bliss. So there you go, just like that. Now this, I will just take into the sink and run some warm water over it, and that'll clean my stamp just like that. Okay, so now we're done with our paper. Now that glue adhesive I have on the back is still stuck here, but I'll clean that up later. Or maybe I'll use it again and make some more cards. Here I can just rub that off the back, although it's not going to hurt because it's the back, and we have that ready. Let's stamp a couple more things. And it just dawned on me that I don't think I cut the white for the inside of the card. So I'm going to keep looking. I know I have some whites. And here's one. Insides. There we go. Let's go ahead and stamp him too while we're at it. So then on the inside, I'm going to stamp to a friend that makes me smile. This one. We'll do that little hello on the front. And this little bunch of leaves, I'm going to stamp him on the inside too, just to give it a little bit of character and that same kind of monochromatic effect on the inside. So I have those all mounted and ready to go. Let's start with that little leaf and some more of that Blackberry ink. And now again, I'm going to stamp it or ink it up 1 time and then stamp it 3 times. Make sure it's nice and got a good cover on there. But I'm going to just start here and kind of fan it out and do those 3 colors there to kind of bring that outside into the inside. And then the sentiment here, I'm going to just ink that up good. Right here. There, looks pretty good for the inside, right? Okay, let me show you one other thing I did. Now when it comes to this little hello here, I think that's about a 1/2 inch. Well, I know it's 2 1/4 inches long because I cut them all weekend, right? And I think this is about a 1/2 inch, but let me show you a little trick that I use, and maybe this will help you in your stamp room too. So I have a little trimmer that looks like this. Now you can't get these from Stampin' Up! Anymore, but maybe you have a trimmer that's close to this, or even another trimmer that can help you with something like this. So those little scraps of paper that you cut, when you cut the inside, you always have this 1/2 inch piece of paper. Now it's always perfect 1/2 inch. So what I like to do is I just take a measurement. Now there's no measurement here. It's just this little silver piece of my trimmer. And I lay that along, let's cut it at the 2 1/4, so it's too long on this one. 2 1/4, because I know I want it that long. And I want it about this width. So I just found this on my trimmer. So instead of having to measurement, I just lined it up with that silver thing and cut it. So like I said, I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch. It just happens to be that this little piece, this is a good size for a lot of sentiments. So if you have something like that, just any kind of measurement kind of trick anywhere, and it makes life easier. Then you don't have to worry about if it's perfect, but yet they're all the same size and look nice. Now, I hope all of that made sense. I think that is a great tip. It just makes life a little easier for me. Now we're going to take that hello, and let's see if I can stamp it straight and in the center of this little piece of paper. If not, I have lots of them, and I will try again. But I think, nope, look how nice that looks. I did really good. Okay, done with our stamping. Let's go ahead and just assemble our card. I have a Blackberry base card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Makes it nice and easy to get that nice crisp fold. We're going to go ahead and put that inside in, using a little bit of tape runner here. I think this was a really pretty and simple card, so I could make a bunch of them. There we go. But yet it still has that wow factor. Now this is the piece of crumb cake. Like I said, that might be what makes it not quite so monochromatic. But I'm going to take my tape runner and just put, making sure I avoid the top and the bottom so that my tape doesn't show when I put the white piece on there. And then I'm going to just take this and lay it here so it's centered, got a nice border. And I did not do good. Thank goodness I didn't press down too hard. I am going to pull that off whether it thinks I am or not, and get it centered a little bit better. So there again, I probably should get my grid paper out and use those squares, but look, I can make it work, trust me. I'm going to just get my head in the camera a little bit. There we go. And look how pretty that is right there. Then with dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to put it here because it has a little bit of bend where I peeled that paper off. One in the center so your tummy doesn't sag. No one likes a saggy middle. There we go. And then we're going to lay this right here in the center of our card. And look how pretty already, yeah? Okay, let's tie a bow. So I have some, and boy, be careful, you don't do this to your I can't think of linen thread, because that's a mess. But I'll fix that when I get to the end. And it has to probably at the very end of the spool, and I have to deal with it the whole time. But anyway, so just a little simple bow here. I don't want it very big. I think that looks good about there. Trim those tails. I always like to leave the tails a little bit longer, and then I can trim them down later. So there's our linen bow, and then I'm going to just take my little hello, and I'm going to put a glue dot behind that L that's closest to the O, just like this. And then I'm going to attach that sideways here to my bow. And just lay that right there. So that's what it looks like on the back. That's what it looks like on the front. Kind of move it around till I get it to where I like it. I think that looks good. Now I'm going to put dimensionals, and I'm going to put dimensionals in a strategic way, I guess you'd say, close to the knot here on the right side, and then over to the edge here on the left side, because when I put it on my card, I want the dimensional on the white, but I want my tag to hang over just a little bit. And get those backs off. Take that, and like I said, I'm going to make sure the dimensionals on the white and that tag hangs over so it looks just like that. Now these need to be fixed. My little tails are going a little hog wild here. This one needs to turn around. Whoop. This one needs to calm down. Let's trim him a little bit and see if that helps. And while we're at it, I'm going to trim this one down a little bit too. Let's see if we can't. There we go. There you go. And then last, and of course not least, I'm going to take these iridescent pearls, and I'm going to add those to my card here. I'm going to take one of the larger ones and place it down here, and then a couple of those little ones. And just place them kind of in a triangle. I think that's the best way. If you're having trouble placing your gems and you can't get them where you like them, rumor has it that if you place them in a triangle, they look the best. And look how pretty. Yeah, that's a pretty card. Then for my swap, so everybody knows it's for me, I have a sheet of my name here, and I'm going to just take a Post-it note. Now I like to do the sticky at the bottom. That way when you put it to the envelope, it doesn't get hung up on the Post-it note. Now this one might not quite take the same because it's a hamburger, not a hot dog. Hot dog, not a hamburger. I don't know, because it goes this way, it might be a little bit hard to get in these clear envelopes. But then I like to take those and put the ribbon side down, or the string in this case, so that you can get it in there and lay it flat. And then there you go. And then all my swaps are ready to go. Alrighty, thanks for watching. That's what I have for you today. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you back here next Monday with another card tutorial. Take care, and bye-bye.